Damn. Welcome to the Sports Nerds, ladies and gentlemen.
You've never seen live Buffalo Bills football with John.
That's right.
You've never seen
this is the first
We are
with
now.
John Olson doing almost play-by-play.
Another level.
Another level. Yes, you are correct. This is going to be great.
Oh, dude, this is like the longest 11 minutes of my life. And
Here we go.
okay, kid kicked it. Okay, good. Okay, that's
Scooter, I'm glad we weren't doing this 6 hours before.
Oh, I heard you had a rough day.
He had a rough week. He's had a rough week.
I've had a day and a half today. So.
Man. Yeah, this is gonna be an absolute meltdown for the next 11 minutes. So I hope you guys are okay with that.
Can I open the show with something, Scott?
Please do, because I'm gonna.
You're gonna show up. You're gonna start the show off with something.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the words of Kevin Bacon in Animal House, thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, gentlemen, how's everybody's Sunday going?
It's going very well, sir. And how's your Sunday going?
Oh, it wouldn't be a Sunday without me. My heart rate's a little bit elevated. Through the roof. I've switched to decaf.
Okay, so we are live.
Okay.
And everybody let you know we are live on
Everywhere.
Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and Vim all at the same time. So we're on all four. Brett Murphy, how you doing?
Over. I've been better.
Yeah, Ken, you've been better, I know. So for the next probably 25 minutes of the show or 20 minutes of the show, we're going to get spontaneous combustion from John Olson every time a big play happens in the Buffalo Bills team. So just be prepared for it, folks. It's going to happen. I want to give a shout out to Elliot, who is under the weather tonight, so he will not be joining us. I want to thank those of you that did decide to join.
Wilson, Elliot.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett, how's it going?
Anyway, yeah, so I've had a great week except for one night of the week. It started last Monday night. I'm sorry, was it last Monday? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Monday
Tuesday.
night. It was Monday night
when
this is for you, Olson.
What? I'm not even watching, dude. You can't do this to me when I'm like not even bit. What is it? I didn't even see it. What did it say? What did it say?
Stanley Cup champions.
Oh, that's great. Didn't you guys win like 10 years ago too? Like it's not. That only counts if you the Browns win. Then you can talk. That's when you can talk smack.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Lightning for the first time in 16 years. It wasn't 10 years. It was 16 years. Thank you very much.
Okay. It was still, recent.
Right. Won the Stanley Cup Monday night. There was a big party here in Tampa all day Wednesday that started with a boat parade and bled into Raymond James Stadium for social distancing celebrations. Kenny, I'm sorry, man. Better team won that series.
Brett, I am doing shitty, so don't be surprised.
Where is he?
Where am I seeing what, John?
It was
Brett's comments.
He's on Facebook.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
We knew it was pretty much a hopeless deal. They weren't really going to have any kind of a comeback, and we had absolutely no power play, no penalty kill, and when those two go together, you're not going to win many games. So my hats off to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Congratulations. I would shake your hand, but I offered anyway. So.
Yeah, well, it was super sweet after what happened to him last year, getting swept by the Blue Jackets in the first round. Victor Hedman wins the Conn Smythe Trophy, which I'm very pleased about. He deserved it.
Yes, he did.
it was very emotional seeing the commissioner actually hand off the Stanley Cup to the captain, Stamkos, who's been injured for most of the season.
Mhm.
There with the team in the bubble the whole time, cheering them
Yep.
on, offering support. He did play one period of the series, got a goal.
Mhm.
So Stamkos was as much part of this championship as anybody else was, because he was there for the entire time. He did not stay behind when he was injured and just watch from outside the bubble. He was in the bubble the whole time.
His name will be etched on the trophy, though.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yep.
Happy for John Cooper.
Front and center.
John Cooper, who's come up from the bottom of every hockey league you can think of. He was selling insurance or doing something before he got his first opportunity in hockey. In the minor leagues. And I mean, this has just been a struggle for them all season. But this was, for those that want to minimize this cup win, you have to understand what not just the Lightning, but what every team in the bubble had to go through in order to be able to play these games.
There is no minimizing this trophy. They earned it. They earned it all the way. And
so
they've
Tampa's
been the best team the last 2 years in the league, and being distracted by a dancing.
Getting distracted by the dancing devil.
Sorry.
This is Buffalo Bills football with John Olson.
Buffalo Bills.
I'll tell you a story about that in a second. Just say my son when you know.
Okay.
And by the way, I will. You're welcome on that. I think it was the first goal or second goal. I can't remember which one it was, but the kid that scored it is from Plano. So he's from our area. So he's playing against the team he grew up rooting for. So we've heard about that all week.
Yep.
So, but congratulations, and I hope you wear your championship T-shirt proud.
I've got a hat on the way. It should be here this week by the 5th. It should be
hat on the way. Okay.
Either Monday or Tuesday or something like that. So I didn't get a T-shirt. I got a championship hat, which is normal for me because I wear hats all the time. So it's all good. And I was there for the first Cup win in 2004. I was outside the arena watching on the big screen during Game 7 against Calgary, and I was here at home watching Game 6. And I don't know if I was louder now or louder 14 years ago, but it's emotional. So anyway, looking forward to next season. Hopefully we'll have a more regular next season.
Yes.
But there's going to be a quick turnaround. I understand they're going to start training camp, I think, in December, if I'm not mistaken. You know?
Yeah, it's either late November or early December.
Yeah, so they're going to have a short turnaround into next
year. Like a pretty quick turnaround. I think they'll be starting the season before Christmas, a week or two before Christmas.
Yeah, well, they were allowed to limited people in the arena here down here during the finals with social distancing, masking up, and a whole.
Oh, we saw them; they were going nuts.
Yeah, and so I'm assuming they're going to get.
And in contrast, the American Airlines Center was about silent.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be somewhat of a semblance of a semi-normal season because they're going to have probably allow social distancing during the season. Hi, Jen. Hi, Eliana. Good to see you guys.
Hi, Jen.
Brett, we put Josh Allen on MVP talks a week ago. I don't know if you were here or not, but we've been talking to MVP for a couple of weeks now about Josh Allen. Yeah. On to the next subject. Well, John looks intently on his 14-point lead in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There was a football game in Dallas today.
Was there?
Yes. It felt more like a track meet.
That was a CFL game, man.
Yeah, it was a CFL game.
Usually it's a football game, it's two teams playing, but I only saw one.
Why would you do it? Sorry. Again, like I said.
No, John, I was in mid-thought. It's fine.
Yeah, no, when I start watching Buffalo Bills games, I start getting very vocal. Even when there's no one else.
And that's when the swear words start coming out, too.
Right, when I'm trying to be a better human being and stop swearing as much. And, yeah, let's just focus.
Breathe, John.
Yeah, it's just, it's 2nd and 20 and you whatever. Okay.
I'm going to brag, and then I'm going to be real, and then I'm going to be realistic. Okay, just to give you a heads up, Cam.
All right.
I'm going to brag, and I'm going to be realistic. Let me see this. For the first 3 quarters of that game today, Cleveland against Dallas, the Browns dominated the Dallas Cowboys on both sides of the ball.
Yes, they do.
It was
Yes,
a
they do.
beautiful sight. I had not seen Browns offense this good in a long, long time. Okay. And the very first drive, that Landry to Odell pass. And for those who didn't know, they know now, Landry is a southpaw. He is left-handed. And he was a bomb to Odell, and it was a touch for the first touchdown of the game. Dallas came back and went ahead 14-7 after that. And then the floodgates opened up. 24 points in the second quarter and then 10 points in the third quarter. Baker finished with 2 touchdown passes. I don't think he had no interceptions again this week. Then the rushing combination of first of all, Nick Chubb is out with a quote unquote knee injury, although he was holding his ankle when he left the field. But the Browns are saying it's a knee injury. They don't know the scope of the injury.
I actually saw him grab the back of his leg, and I thought it might be
like his calf
an
or something
MCL
like that, right?
strain. So
anyway,
actually, I was a little bit higher because I thought it was between his thigh and his knee. So I was thinking possible MCL strain. So.
Yeah, he walked off on his own, and it's like, not like he had to be carted off or helped off. He walked off on his own.
That's why I said strain. So
that's what I'm thinking. It's a strain.
I know you're going to be held out the rest of the game, but
well, by the time that was all said and done, we were so far ahead. They probably should have kept it. They just probably kept them off for precautionary reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Nick Chubb still finished with 43 rushing yards. Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns for 71 yards for 2 touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr. in that end around at the end of in the fourth quarter to seal it for 50 yards. That was a phenomenal play. They had done that play earlier in the game. He only got about 12 yards out of it, but he blew it up and just ripped nuts.
Sorry. Keep forgetting that I'm on.
Uh-oh.
Well, as I said on both Facebook and Twitter, the seems to me that the Cowboys' biggest problem is the cardboard cutout, because all the other 31 teams are putting their cardboard cutouts up in the stands to act as the crowd, and the Cowboys are putting their cardboard cutouts out on the field.
On the field, yes. Hey, Josh, good to see you, man. Happy Victory Sunday to my buddy Josh Cantor. You know Josh, don't you, Cam? You know, remember Josh?
Yes, I do.
MSN days. Josh was with us back in the day. It seemed to calf. You're right, Josh. We'll see. They're going to do an MRI tomorrow to find out the extensive damage. I don't feel that it was. Oh my God, did he freaking catch that, John? Holy shit! It didn't seem serious enough to where he was carried off or carted off the field.
Oh my gosh! Like, what are you doing?
Here he goes. And maybe a strain of some type. That's all right. We had 3 running backs in there in place of him. Ernest Johnson is a great story. If you ever want to know his story, he made his way through the new AAF or AAF. He was on a fishing boat catching fish, and then went into the All-American Football League in Orlando. It ended up going into a couple of training camps, and Browns brought him in for a tryout, and that was back when Freddie Kitchens was head coach. Kareem Hunt had a decent game. He had 2 touchdowns. But Ernest Johnson had 13 carries for 95 yards. The offensive line is playing great. They're opening up holes. They're keeping Baker protected. It's amazing how much of a difference from this year to last year was as far as that offensive line and how well they're doing. Hi, Katie. How you doing, Katie? Good to see you, Katie. Miss Negative Nancy.
Roughing the passer? Really?
But but yeah, I mean, it was an overall great game for 3/4 of the 4 quarters, and then the defense relaxed and got winded in the 4th quarter, and the Cowboys came back. The Cowboys have a lot of weapons. I mean, Cooper had a great catch. CeeDee Lamb had a great game. Dak had over 500 yards passing, but his last pass was the one that killed him, which was intercepted at the end of the game to seal it. Denzel Ward.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. That's Buffalo ball, baby. That's Buffalo ball, baby. That's some Buffalo ball right there, baby. That's a turnover, Mr. Derek Carr. See you later, Raiders Nation.
Yeah, Josh, if you don't know what's going on in a Buffalo game, just watch John. That's all you got to do. You'll figure it out.
Oh, finally. We get to Derek.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh, man. Like,
yes.
I mean.
Did
yes.
you happen to see what Dak's final stats were?
Dak's stats?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I got him.
41 of 58 for 502.
502 and 4 touchdowns, yes. In a losing effort.
Yeah.
But they gave up 300 yards on the ground, too. The defense gave up 307 yards on the ground. I mean, this is where the realistic in me this is where the realist in me comes out. Number one, Baker didn't have a great game. He didn't throw for a lot of yards, okay? Baker was not the reason the Browns won today. It wasn't all on Baker. Our defense, especially the cornerbacks in the secondary, are horrendous. The defensive line is getting pressure, but number one, our secondary can't defend. And on that note,
neither can ours.
Right. And again, that's where I'm coming in. Our defense, specifically, where is he, that dumbass? Andrew Sendejo needs to get a life and get away from Cleveland because he sucks as a cornerback. I mean, he was targeted all day long. He had 1 tackle and 3 assists. He just cannot defend, and he was picked on all day long. And Dak ate him up, and their receivers ate him up. Brett, let me get to the Browns game, and then I will get to the other games. This is more important before you start throwing stuff at me.
I thought so.
But yes, our defense is very suspect outside of the defensive line. Yeah, we're not very good against the pass. Yes, I know Sendejo was captain. That was sad, Josh. He's a piece of crap. And Brown's Twitter was eating him up today, just chewing him up and spitting him out all day long today because he couldn't defend worth crap. But I'm going to be realistic and say that our defense is our Achilles heel because it is just horrendous. We can't stop anybody, which is why we had to throw almost 50 points up today in order to win that game. But then on the other hand, Dallas's defense is is like Swiss cheese as well. It's full of holes. So our real test will come next week with that defense against the Colts. That's going to be a real test for them.
Yeah.
They're coming into Cleveland to play us next week. So if our offense can outperform our defense, which they should be, and if our defense can stop an old man sidearm Phillip Rivers himself, we can be winner. We can be winners again. It's the first time the Browns have been 3-1 since 2001.
2001, yeah.
Okay, and it's the first time since 1968 the Browns have scored 30 points in 3 straight games. They didn't do it in the 80s when Bernie Kosar and Marty Schottenheimer were there, but they did it back in 68. The first 3 quarters.
Who did the Browns beat in '68 in the divisional playoff game?
I don't remember. I don't remember who it was. It was best. I was 2 years old, so I don't know.
It was the Dallas Cowboys.
Was it the Dallas Cowboys?
It was the Dallas Cowboys.
And then they lost to the Packers in the NFL championship or something like that.
No, they lost to Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay. Who went on to lose to the Jets.
And they beat the Cowboys again the next year and lost to the Vikings.
So
They could have played. They could have played in back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yep.
That as may be.
Yep. But it's
To be
first time.
perfectly honest with you, Cowboys are 1-3 and probably should be 0-4.
They should be 0-4. If not for that onside kick against the Falcons, they should be 0-4. You are correct. Yes.
Not for that onside kick, we would be 0-4. And needless to say, the honeymoon is over for Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah, and people were picking this team to go to the Super Bowl. Ha! And that division,
Not me.
that division is horrendous because the top two teams in that division are 1-3,
That division
and
is
the other
horrendous.
two are 0-2, and they're tied in the division with that Washington football team.
Washington.
Yes.
1-3, 1-3, 0-2-1, and 0 and about to be 0-4.
Katie, I don't know what their strength, but I do know they play the Patriots this year, and their schedule is going to be is brutal because they got some brutal games coming up. I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I'm not sure, but I think it was pretty strong.
One real strong today.
The strength of schedule Katie was asking about, but no, it wasn't strong today. I expected them to lose today, to be honest. I was thinking there was going to be a loss because of how powerful the offense was and how brittle our defense was. But it just like Dallas' defense is in worse shape than ours is at this point.
And you got less than 15,000 people in the stands, and they're booing like it's 80,000.
Yep.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yep. Actually, they had 25,000 in the stadium today. That was the final count. Was 25,000.
25,000 today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Including a lot of Browns fans. A lot of Browns fans. So, because Browns.
Oh,
fans,
I knew that.
Yeah, Browns fans travel very well.
that.
Yes, we had a couple. I was following a couple of people I follow on Twitter. We're at the
Oh,
game.
I'm sure there were multitudes of Browns fans living here in the area. I know I used to work with one of them, so I doubt if he was out there today, but he might have been.
So, but my final thoughts on that Browns game today is we still got a lot of work to do. When we went 3-1 in 2001, we ended up being 7-9. So the season isn't even close to being over. So I'm not even thinking about that. But I'm glad for the win.
How bad are you?
I know Josh and I were almost ready to throw up during the game. Yeah, we did need Greedy Williams today, Josh. You are correct. I totally agree. We need him to get his shoulder back in shape and get him back on the field. But anyway, either way, I'm happy for the win. It's on to Indianapolis, as Bill Belichick would say. And I had a great week. Yeah, we won't talk about the Indians because until Dolan sells a team, they're not going to be good. I've come to that conclusion. They put the best pitching staff in the major leagues on the mound, and their top two aces could not get it done because their hitting is just terrible. Their lineup is just horrible.
I feel really bad for Terry Francona, because he deserved better than that. And
well, Sandy Alomar managed the game because Terry's back down.
Between the Indians falling apart in 2 games and the Twins who now lost 18 consecutive playoff games, which I find totally mind-blowing. I think we could see a real interesting 2 playoff games in the American League. Tampa Bay and New York are not particularly fond of each other.
Nope.
And Houston and Oakland flat out hate each other. There could be a brawl in that game.
Yes.
I hope not, but they've already had one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that the Indians played throughout the season and into the playoffs, I could tell that the lineup that we get behind in a game, our lineup isn't strong enough to come back in those games, and I knew that right away. They had guys back and forth in game 2, but they just blew it. Josh, I hope they keep Lindor.
So do I, Katie.
I hope they keep Lindor. His popularity from Cleveland is, from what I understand, is 50-50 at this point because he did not perform in the playoffs and down the stretch. But I do agree with the fact he has every right to criticize the Dolans the way he's been treated. Every right to criticize the ownership. The Dolans have $1 billion to field a team over $1 billion. They're like the Blue Jays. They got the money, but they refuse to field the team. John can relate to that.
No comment.
I know. And Terry Francona is one of the nicest guys you ever meet. He's a great manager.
Yeah.
Not having him in the dugout hurt us bad. I love Sandy Alomar. He's a Cleveland icon, but he can't manage a game worth shit. He just can't. I love him to death, but he's not going to be a manager in Major League Baseball the way he managed that series. So,
no.
I hope they keep Lindor. I don't know that they will.
I've still got considerably more respect for him than I do Roberto.
Yeah. Roberto's a punk. I hate Roberto.
Roberto who?
Alomar.
Alomar.
Mr. Spitting in the face of other players.
I don't care. 92, 93, man. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, and
sorry, I'm almost done. There's only 1:55 left, and then you'll have my undivided attention. Again, I told Scott before I press record,
and
I watch football differently than most people.
Yes.
I can't focus on anything but football, and then I'm like so I just want to. I'm almost done, folks.
I love it. It's great. Are you kidding me?
The running joke is when I was getting married, my son did a speech, and that was part of his speech. He was like, "You've never heard yelling until Sunday mornings when Buffalo Bills are playing in my house. My dad is crazy." That's literally what he told everybody in front of the entire wedding party. It was great. So, yeah. I get angry.
Yes.
And excited at the same time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but it was a great game by the Browns today. Beckham went off like he'd not gone off all season long. 3 touchdowns on him alone. And getting back to the Indians, the Dolans. Yes, Katie, the Dolans are different because they have all this money and they refuse to spend it, just like the Jays. They refuse to put good players, go after free agents, re-sign their good players. They let Corey Kluber go. They let Clevenger. Oh, excuse me. They let Clevenger go. It's crazy. It's just nuts. And I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of the Dolans. I just need to sell the team and move on. That's my opinion. Yes, Josh Cantor says. John, Josh Cantor says Bills 4-0. Another sign of the pandemic.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not going to mention his quarterback this week, though. Talking about pandemics and all, right?
But you mean Baker Mayfield?
Oh, Bill. Isn't Bill a Patriots fan?
No, this is Josh.
Josh. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Bill Clark.
No, Josh. No, he's not.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Baker was okay. He wasn't great, but he was okay.
Yeah, first overall, man. There's only a couple guys.
I felt sorry for Corey Kluber this year because he got a bad deal with the Rangers. He only got to play, I think, 2 or 3 games before he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was lost the rest of the season. So.
Yeah, there goes Drew. There goes Gruden walking with his mask off.
He doesn't care. It's Davis's money. Get fined.
He gets fined $100,000 if he doesn't wear it himself.
He gets fined or the franchise?
He gets fined. The head coach gets fined.
I thought it was the franchise guy.
but he's getting $100 million in 10 years, so it's like a nickel to him anyway.
Crazy, man. I wonder what the NFL does with that money, all the fines. Do they give it to charity or something? They just put it in.
I don't know because they're a nonprofit, so they can keep it.
Yeah.
Right, just like the Jays, just like the Marlins, Katie, you're right. However, the Marlins are in the ALDS or the NLDS right now, and they have actually been playing very well. That's the way they do it every so often. Is they just they come out of nowhere, just like the Rays. Rays and the Marlins are in their division series in the playoffs, and yet they don't have high payroll because they go out and get quality players. They don't need.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that, Scott?
What?
The Marlins have never lost a playoff series.
Correct. They've never lost a playoff series.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So anyway.
Yeah.
I still think Atlanta will beat Miami, and I have to believe LA will find a way to beat San Diego if they can keep them keep it from being slammed, Diego.
Right.
Jeez. Poyer just got eaten alive.
So going through today's games, and we'll let John talk about this game when it's over. Oh no.
Yeah, oh no, is right. Like Poyer just got eaten alive. Why wouldn't you just turn around? Like you see the end zone, you see that he's just turn around, put your hand up.
Absolutely. Game ain't over yet. So,
You like the Rays' chances against the Yankees?
yes, because the Rays have a winning record against the Yankees, and I can't wait for that series. I can't wait to see the Yankees lose it. I honestly do. I mean, however, they are full strength. Everybody's back healthy, so the Yankees are a juggernaut to be dealt with. But I still think the Rays can win it. I still think.
Apparently, the Jays were in the playoffs.
They were, but not for very long.
I didn't.
They had a cup of coffee. That was about it.
Yeah, they lost 2 straight to the Marlins, the Rays in their wild card series.
Useless. Like, why even? Like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, Nathan Peterman is on the Raiders? Really? Wow. I did not know that.
You remember Nathan Peterman, don't you, John?
Oh, Nathan, great. Exactly.
Another player in a long line, great quarterbacks and played in Buffalo.
Oh, he's amazing. Come on. Jeez, dude. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody for the next 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, love you all. You can see my reaction.
Are you muting yourself? That's the question. He's not going to mute himself, so it's okay. I can't. No, Josh, don't do it. Come on, man. You know what, man? Go help park some cars somewhere, dude. You can get your Yankees crap out of here, man. I love you like a brother, but get your Yankees crap out of here. I'm just saying. Katie, you can root for the Rays. It's no big deal. It's not a problem. Come on, you can do it. I know it's the AL East. I'm sorry, but and another comeback win today, as Brett was so helpful to remind me. The Buccaneers won today. They were down. Oh crap! They were down 24, 31, 14 at one point in the third quarter. And ended up coming back and winning that game 38-31. Tom Brady at 43 years old threw 5 touchdown passes. The first time in NFL history a player of his age threw that many touchdown passes. Which is fine. We may have, let me see, where's the stats? She's not going to root for the Raiders. She'd rather lick a frozen steel pipe. Too funny. The bigger story of this game is Justin Herbert, Kenny. The kid was 20 of 25 for 290 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is a rookie.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, he did have a pick in the game, but he was 20 of 25. 20 of 25 and he threw for almost 300 yards. Yeah.
That's the 80 percentile.
Yes. Thank you, Jen. I was thinking of that, just that. Thank you, Jen. But Austin Eckler went down to injury. He was out most of the game. But Justin, but as far as rushing, they didn't have a big. It was all in the air for the Chargers, because they had less than 50 yards rushing today.
Yeah, they've gotten no ground game at all, pretty much.
With Eckler out, they have no ground game. With no Eckler, they got no ground game.
It's going to be all.
It's Justin Jackson and Joshua Kelly. That's pretty much all it is.
Yep.
With him being out, but Herbert's playing really good for a rookie. And for their head coach to come out and say that it was still, what's his face? No, Josh, he's not. It's spelled.
No.
It's not Abear. It's
Herbert.
It's
not
Herbert.
Abear.
It's not Abear. No, it's not Louisiana. It's Herbert.
I don't remember what college he's from.
Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah.
Yes, he was the Oregon's quarterback.
Right.
But their head coach is saying that it was Tyrod Taylor's job to keep. After the last 3 weeks, I can't see how. The way this gets played.
Nope.
I can't see how you give it back to Tyrod. I can't see it. No, I'm a big
Tyrod
Tyrod Taylor fan because he was a quarterback in Cleveland for a little bit. John likes him too because he was in Buffalo.
And he got us to the first playoffs in 17 years. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but the way Herbert's playing, you can't give it back to Tyrod. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. So
nope.
That'll be interesting to see when
it'll be his
injury.
4-0, baby. 4-0.
All game.
Yeah.
4
a little bit healthier than the last Oregon quarterback in the NFL.
Unbelievable.
Taylor's just had some of the worst luck ever for a quarterback with his talent because he keeps getting injured in different place. You know, I feel bad for the guy. And John, you've got if New England can't beat Kansas City, you're gonna have a 2-game lead in the division now.
Not with me. Let's
Absolutely.
go KC. Love me some Kansas City. And I need Travis Kelce to have a big game.
I got my – if it wasn't for Dak's – the other side of my win today is that Dak Prescott burned me in fantasy today too. So, I mean, I was on my way to winning a fantasy game that didn't – all of a sudden Dak Prescott goes off. So, he beat me. At that time, I'm going to lose my fantasy this week.
Your opponent was playing Dak?
Yes, he was. Yes, he
Is that
was.
what you're saying?
Yes, he was. So –
can we talk about the Buffalo Bills now? Like, can we?
We're just waiting for you to get done with what you were doing, John. Go ahead.
The floor is yours.
The floor is yours, Mr.
No. I don't want to overstep. You guys patiently waited for me for 36 minutes, so, I don't want to overstep my my boundaries.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know your thoughts, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Yes, sir.
Bolts winning the Stanley Cup.
What about that?
You see, it's exactly what I thought. Yeah,
I don't care, dude.
No one cares.
I don't think you understand. Like, football is the only sport that I'll actually watch all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Every other sport, as soon as Toronto or Edmonton in the NHL or Toronto in the NBA, I don't care. It's dead to me. Okay. Like, the sport is dead to me until I have a rooting. Like, I'm a homer, man. I'm ride or die with my team. That's it. And good for Stamkos got a Stanley Cup. Great. Pride of Unionville, Ontario. Okay. Yes. Part of Toronto. So a big shout out to Stammer and everybody in Markham and Unionville.
Okay.
The suburbs. The burbs. So big shout out to Stammer. Cool. But again, it's just I just don't care. Like it's football don't like football. You could put the Browns and like the
we had
Panthers.
We had it Thursday night, John.
What's that?
We had it Thursday night. Broncos and the Jets.
Oh, that was just awful. Wasn't it just horrible? Like it was just dude, I don't even feel for Jets fans though.
No.
Like at all.
No.
Like at all. I don't dislike Broncos fans either. Like they're fine, whatever.
I'm a Browns fan. I hate the Broncos, but that's just me. I could care less. But yeah, that was a god awful. It was unfortunate that somebody had to win that game. That's all I'm saying.
It was awful. It was like so bad.
And Sam Darnold got sacked by a ghost.
You see him stumble over.
He got sacked by Von Miller. Von Miller gets sacked even when he's not playing.
Von Miller like blew at his TV.
That's right.
Dude just goes stumbling over the line. That's great. It's awful, man. It's bad because the NFL like tries to put these matchups together, like make it intriguing.
Yes.
Like, does Denver and the Jets have any like hatred? Do they?
Not that I know.
Storylines there like, from Elway or
frustration. Not much of anything. They're both 0-3 going to that game.
Yeah, it's like
first time I've ever seen two 0-3 teams have a nationally televised game.
Yeah, I mean it was awful. I mean they were probably looking forward to the matchup of their actual quarterback that got hurt and Sam Darnold. I don't know what they were thinking about when they skipped to this game. especially since the NBC's or Thursday Night Football on NFL Network or on Fox, whichever one you want to pick, normally gets a better game than what's on Monday night on ESPN. They normally get a better game. They get a prime game, two good teams, but that didn't happen. And then tonight you got Philly and San Francisco. George Kittle's back tonight, by the way. That was announced. He's back. Philly's awful. They're awful. It's horrible. So
that's going to make Dallas and Washington 1-3. Philadelphia will be 0-3-1, and Giants will be 0-4.
Yes. The NFC East is terrible.
No, NFC least.
Yes.
NFC least.
Yes. No, I haven't seen that, Josh. I may not be in my area, so I haven't seen it. No, if you have a link for it, I'd like to see it. It's the New York Jets continued commitment to quarterback excellence since the butt fumble. Katie just said.
Can I get on a little bit of a rant? Is that okay?
Yes,
with
you can start ranting, John, whenever you want to start.
Okay, perfect. So
Rant.
I like my Sundays are sacred when it comes to football. So especially because I'm on this weird time zone. So games don't start till 2:30 in the afternoon for me. So I have all morning, half of the afternoon to watch NFL Network and read blog posts and the whole nine. I remember week 1 when the Jets were playing the Buffalo Bills. And then Kurt Warner gets asked, if you were starting a franchise, what quarterback would you like to have? And everybody on the panel said Josh Allen, except the greatest show on turf, Mr. Kurt Warner, says Sam Darnold is a better quarterback.
Well, he's eating crow now.
Sam Darnold, the same guy who trips over his shoelaces and sees ghosts on the sideline.
Yes.
But you're right, Kurt.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Take care, John.
Thanks for coming, Josh. Sorry for watching me for 30 minutes do absolutely nothing.
Josh, it's always good to see you, brother. You're welcome anytime. And I'll see you on Twitter, man. Good to see you. Josh is a good Twitter follower, Kenny. If you're not following, he's a good Twitter follower.
Did you go to that show, the Brown show on Hive?
I did not. No, I didn't get a chance to do that. No.
What the hell are you doing? Why didn't you go?
I don't know.
Don't tell me you were doing anything.
No, I probably wasn't doing anything, but I watched one of their shows, the previous last week's show, and as much as we are trash talkers, they can't compare to us. This show is better than their show. Okay, the only difference about their show is they use graphics and they use screen share and they got all these fancy stuff going on, but I don't believe it's strictly Browns. Number one, so you'd hate it, John. And number two, there's not a lot of content in there. There's really not. They're just back and forth shooting the shit. We try to at least bring content to our show, and maybe it's just because I'm biased, but I wasn't impressed. No offense if he watches this broadcast rebroadcast, I apologize I don't mean to offend you, but it's a personal preference. So I'll pop in probably Wednesday night and see what's going on.
I just think it'd be a great networking opportunity. Promote your show, promote their show. But I was thinking like that more. But
I got you.
Especially because they're Browns fans, and it's everybody's got to have a depressing group. Well, I guess it's not that bad this year, right? You guys are okay this year. What are you, 3-1 now?
3-1 for the first time since 2001.
It's magic. Dude, I can't believe you weren't in Discord today, because when Landry threw that pass to Odell, I was jumping up in the air. I was like, oh my God. That was insane. That was just...
I was focused on my red zone. I wasn't even in Discord all day. I know I'm
I was just like, wow. Landry's a prick, but that was a sick play, man. That was
yes,
sick.
And Odell finally showed up because you know how much you love Odell. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken Casso says 5 words for Kurt Warner: clean up on aisle 5.
Is that what he was doing before he was a football player?
Yeah, he was grocery shopping. Yes.
Grocery.
Grocery clerk. Yes, he was a bagger or something like that.
It's amazing how life can turn around like that so quickly, huh?
And I was not a fan and not in favor of his entry into the Hall of Fame because I didn't think he was worthy. I didn't think he was worthy. He had too many weapons. It was
Oh, are you kidding me? Marshall.
Yeah,
like,
Marshall.
Like in your backfield, you have Marshall Falk. Like really? Like
yeah. I mean, Kurt Warner was not the reason, and he won an MVP. I understand that, but
I love these guys because now this was kind of like I totally forgot what the big aha moment was. This morning on NFL Network, Kurt Warner is singing Josh Allen's praises. Like, oh, Josh Allen is this and that and this and that and this and that. Right. You know what's interesting about Bills Mafia? We remember stuff. Yes. Like if you are a talking head about the NFL, like on social media, we remember it. We take old takes, you know.
Oh yeah, Browns fans the same way. If you're in the media, we give Tony Grossi and Mary Kay Cabot shit week after week after week. The entire spectrum of Browns reporters in Cleveland, every single one of them picked the Cowboys today. Not one of them picked Cleveland, and the Browns nation is going to go crazy on them. They already started.
Even what's her name?
Mary Kay Cabot picked the Cowboys.
Mary Kay Cabot,
yeah, she picked the Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Yes.
Wow.
Tony Grossi, who's been in Cleveland since the Ice Age, kicked the Cowboys. So yeah. I mean,
I'm just.
Cool.
I just it's to me it's fascinating how people change their tune so quick. And it's not only in football. It's like media, like and there's guys that I follow in sports media. The guy that I follow that I think is just brilliant is Sports Rage. I mean, Gabriel Morency, he's the guy who does betting.
He's an asshole, but I know him. I know.
Oh, I love it. But he always says that these guys get paid to have opinions that 90% of the time are wrong.
Right.
Like this just don't even listen to them. Like don't listen to it to like get angry. You'll lose hair. Like just listen to it because they're schmucks. All of them. They're complete buffoons. They don't know what they're talking about. And it's just you throw a coin up and flip.
And this is probably not new facts or breaking news, but these guys set themselves up to each have opposing opinions so we can hear both sides. But they're saying may not be what they actually believe, but they're given that narrative to show us both sides.
But then you've got dudes that are ride or die from day one.
Like Michael Irvin. Like Michael Irvin with the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, but he's got vested interest, right? But I mean, like there's dudes like Michael Robinson, for example, Adam Shine.
Yeah.
These guys have been Bills like for years now, not just because Josh has had a couple of good games now. They have been saying
Chris Berman
last year.
Chris Berman's the same way.
Berman's a Bills technically, he's a Bills fan. Let's be honest, right? I mean, deep down, he's no arm circle, so
Well, yes.
Chris Berman wanted a Buffalo San Francisco Super Bowl so bad.
Didn't he pen that phrase, John?
Yeah, that's his phrase.
Yeah.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
I'll get that tattooed on my rear end one day.
Yes.
It's the greatest. I'm just saying, it's like there's some people this is the thing about sports. Teams have good days and they have horrible days.
Right.
But if you see certain traits in a team, you can't just say, oh, this guy's Josh Allen on a rookie had horrible completion and only it stays the same your entire career. Like, who comes up with this stuff?
I know. Yeah.
Like, the kid's 20 years old. He's learning an offense. It's his first time in the big spot. And you look at the progression every year.
Well, this is only is this his third year or second year?
Third year.
Under this
He's
system.
consistently gotten better.
Right.
And everybody was just cooping on this.
Well, and that's why I get upset. And that's why I get upset with the Big Baker haters, because he's had 4 different systems in 3 years. This is his first year under Stefanski, and he's doing well. He's not blowing it up, but it's his first year in this system.
Give it a couple. You can't, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago with these with the coaches, the circle of coaches that these kids go through. How do you get into an offense in a year or two?
And why do you think Sam Darnold is so bad?
Well, yeah, because he's got a horrible franchise. Exactly. I mean, I think every single one of them, from Josh Rosen to Darnold, I think they got the short end of the stick because of the franchises that drafted them.
Cardinals, Miami, and now where's he at now? He's on the practice squad with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's actually with a good franchise now. So
right, and that's probably the best place for him, so he can learn under
Tom Brady,
right? Brady had a game today, didn't he? 5 touchdowns or something?
5 touchdowns for Brady today.
Oh, guess who's on my fantasy football
There
team?
you go. That's all right. Dak Prescott killed me. The Browns won, but Dak killed me today, so it's all good.
Dak's like the highest passing yards in the league.
500 yards passing today. Yeah, I got to run to the Bull Boys room. I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
Oh, we'll keep going. We'll just sit here and just talk about the Cowboys. Yeah, man.
I think Dak is on his way to a 6,000 yard season, I think.
Oh, he's no joke, man. And I mean, and Gallup pooped the bed for me today. Like, I mean, he didn't do anything. I have him on I picked him like 3rd or 6th round or something in my fantasy draft because I was like, oh, this is going to be Dak's new favorite weapon after Cooper, you know? Well,
the pass he threw to make it 14-7 was a absolute bullet. And it was like I described it as a heat-seeking missile. And Cooper grabbed that one. I'm surprised he didn't rip his hands off trying to catch it, but that was a bullet. So Dak is focused. It's just that we have absolutely no defense, none.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm actually calling them Alice.
How's
Alice
Diggs
Cowboys.
playing?
We haven't seen D yet.
How's Diggs playing? Or is he hurt?
Diggs doing well.
Yeah.
He was, but he's not getting any help.
Right.
I mean, it's pathetic. The injuries have killed them. The linebacking play, they have absolutely no back with losing Van and Sean. They got nothing left. They've been looking for secondary help all year and refused to offer the guy from Seattle.
He was 2nd round, wasn't he? 2nd round pick or 3rd? 2nd round.
2nd, I believe.
Yeah, because he was on the board. I think Dallas picked before Buffalo, or like a pick or 2 before Buffalo. And like that's what everybody was saying. Like on Twitter, they were just like, "Oh man, if we got Diggs, imagine the Diggs brothers on the Bills. Like how happy? Like Stephon Diggs seems to be a pretty happy dude right now, but I mean, having his little brother on there would be. But anyways,
yeah.
Katie criticized me because I expected a loss. I did expect a loss, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm going to sit here and not root for them. I'm going to root for heck hell. And I was happy they won. The biggest thing going into that game, Katie, I wanted to see it would give me a chance to see how they matched up, and they matched up. They went toe for toe with Dallas for 60 minutes, and I was happy with that. But I also know that the Browns have a bad defense, as do the Cowboys, so it was going to be a shootout. And I was predicting a shootout all week long. So, Katie also says Kornheiser and Wilbon are pretty consistent with their picks as far as commentators are concerned. I like Kornheiser and Wilbon. I really do. Wilbon's a hardcore Washington football, baseball, basketball crazy nut, and Kornheiser is all Chicago all the time. So,
who?
Kornheiser.
And,
isn't he Chicago?
Pardon my interruption, guys.
Yes.
No, Wilbon's Bears, dude.
Wilbon's Bears. Okay, I thought it
was Wilbon in Chicago.
Yeah, he's Chicago. The other guy is the Washington.
I've actually met Wilbon.
All right, Wilbon is Chicago. You're right. I'm sorry. Wilbon is Chicago.
Flipped.
Yeah. Okay.
Brett wants to know why are the Jets not bankrupt, and Katie said New York, and that's it, right? I mean, it's Mecca, right? So it's like that's you can put crap products on the field. Same in Toronto, you could put a crap hockey team up on the ice. Don't matter. It's the cities. You can't do that in Buffalo. You can't do that in like I don't even think Dallas would put up with that. Would Dallas put up with crap like garbage, horrible teams, countless year after year?
Because their fan base is all about America's team, and
year after year.
Yeah.
Let's see, 25 years.
Well, it's been 25 years and they won a Super Bowl. You're right.
I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
One
day. Lots of those 25 years since then, we've been pretty crap. So.
Well, you know what? It's a
some pretty rough
reflection on,
times,
and that's a reflection on the GM owner, and the GM and the owner's been the same since he bought the team.
Yes, exactly.
Jerry Jones is the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. And his
It always has been.
yeah, Jerry Jones is. I mean, we've talked about that before on the show too. He's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys because he refuses to relinquish GM duties and keep his hand out of the pot. He just refuses. Right. I'm not saying his son is going to be any different. Okay. But it still boils down to Jerry Jones. And what is he? 80 something now? Kenny, how old is that man? 80 something?
No, he's let me think, 78.
All right, so he's pushing 80.
78.
Yeah, and it's just
pushing 80. Yes.
And I don't know that his son can be any better if Jerry Jones would walk away from it, but Dallas needs to have a GM outside of the owner, like every other franchise in the NFL. They have an owner.
He is an egomaniac.
Huh?
Think about it.
And he's the only owner in the NFL that has his own press conference after every single game.
Yes. Nobody else does.
So
no other owner does.
You know, they bury him in that mausoleum of that Green Bay is owned by the fans, by the shareholders.
They wouldn't put up with that.
No.
That's right.
So I mean, and owners, a lot of owners do it the right
traded,
way.
I
mean, they has them for the Browns. They step away from the team. They go to the games, but they do not get involved midseason with the team unless there's a change, like with last year with the coaching changes and everything. But once the season starts, we don't hear from the Haslams. You don't hear from ownership once the season starts in Buffalo, do you, John?
Well, I mean, I follow Kim on social media, but she's always doing something. She's got a podcast now that she does with one of the beat reporters. But like, you never hear from Terry. Like, Terry's not in the picture anymore at all. I barely hear from him.
Right.
But it's never like Buffalo's ownership has never been, oh, this is how we're going to run the team. Buffalo's ownership was, let's hire Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. Let them run the team.
But football people handle the football.
Football people handle the football stuff.
Right. Jerry's only claim to fame in football is he played for Arkansas. That's it. He went to college in Arkansas. Amy, how you doing? Amy Peterson in the house.
Yeah. Hi, Amy.
Never Amy, don't you, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a conversation.
Good win by your Saints today, Amy. Hope you're doing. And not Saints. I'm sorry. She's a Dolphins girl, isn't she, Ken?
What?
Isn't Amy a Dolphins girl?
No, 49ers.
49ers. Okay.
What about the COVID stuff in the league, man? I mean,
two
first
games
of all, Cam Newton is the only player between the two teams that have tested positive. And so they're still going to play tomorrow night. Pittsburgh not Pittsburgh, but Tennessee is different.
Yeah.
You got 19 people, players and staff that tested
up to 19 now?
Yeah, I think it was 16 or 19. Yes.
10 team, right? Then 9.
Yeah.
They have 16.
Yeah. And so they pushed their scheduled week 4 game to week 7. And
well, this is a problem for us, right? Because we're supposed to play Tennessee next week. So what's probably going to happen
could be affected if
they think it's going to be put on pause and just have the bye week for the Bills next week. And then this is it's an issue if it starts like if you get one guy getting it and the team's okay, that's one thing. But when an entire team gets it, this is going to be a problem.
Yes.
Maybe I'm just an idiot, Canadian, stupid guy, but the bubble worked for the NHL,
NBA, and it's going to work for MLB too, because they're going to be in the bubble during the division series and championship series and the World Series.
It's not like there's a bunch of fans going to the game and they're losing out on revenue,
right?
You know,
because they're getting the revenue from TV, so it's all it is.
I don't.
Right outside Globe Life are 2 major hotels, so that's where they will be sequestered.
Right.
In between games. So so. But
Well, they need to get it under control.
They will be selling tickets.
Yeah.
There will be
a limited amount of
11,000
right?
tickets available.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's the championship series and it's the World Series. So yes.
40,000 seat stadium.
Well,
I mean, it's worrisome because if it can happen to Tennessee, it can happen anywhere if you're not following protocols.
Yes.
And we talked about this going into the season. That's why Elliott set up this fantasy league this year as a no-fee league, because we didn't know at the time if the season was going to go the full 16 weeks. We were prepared for this, and we mentally prepared ourselves for it. So that's why every week when there's football on, I feel blessed because that's one more week where we don't have to worry about it. Play games and go to next week. So, but when this thing with Tennessee came out, thank God nobody in Minnesota had it because they played Minnesota last week.
Right.
So glad nobody in Minnesota got it. So it's contained to. There's one player like Brett said. There's one player on the KC's practice squad that has it, but Tennessee has actual active players that have it. So that's where it's going to affect the league, and that concerns me because if it can happen in Houston, if it can happen in Tennessee, it can happen anywhere in the league. So here we are.
Let me relate something that happened yesterday. This was at the SMU Memphis game. It was in Dallas at SMU. They opened up the stadium. The stadium holds 35,000, I think. There's only supposed to be one quarter filled, of course. They let the SMU students in to their student section. They warned them going into the gate that they must wear a mask and they must spread out. They went in, immediately, evidently, took their masks off or lowered them and bunched together. They were given 2 warnings. Third time, security came in and kicked them all out.
Yeah, I don't blame
Kicked out the entire student section.
I don't blame them.
They had to. They had to.
And Katie makes a good point. If the president of the United States can get COVID, anybody can get COVID. That's just the way it is. Because he's in the most secure bubble in the world, and he got it. So.
Yep. Of course.
Doesn't matter who you want to. Doesn't matter if you want to blame him for it or blame somebody else for it. It doesn't matter who's to blame for it. The fact is, he got it.
He got it. Yep.
Okay. So, and he's in the hospital for it. So, nobody's immune. Not even but someone in the most secure bubble in the world is immune to getting this stuff. This thing.
Right.
This is why I wear a mask whenever I go out. I don't go. And if I don't have to go out, I don't go out. I stay home. So.
Neither do I. Even when I'm working outside and I'm back to work, I'm still wearing a mask. We have to. It's been mandated. But
you're going crossing guard again?
I'm crossing. Yes.
Good.
And as I'm doing that, I'm wearing a mask.
Right. And I also want to just not to change it, but I want to give Kenny a shout out. Kenny, as I mentioned last week, hasn't been calling high school games for the first time in 25 years. The man was still tweeting out play-by-play on Twitter for a local high school game last night, whether he was being paid to do it or not. He just can't get rid of it, and I think that's great. I really think it's great.
Were you following my updates on that?
I was following your updates all night long. Yes, sir, I was. I was following it because I had my friends column open, and you're in my friends column.
Actually, a good game. So, a lot better game than we had today.
So yes, big time. Brett,
it's actually interesting to see football played in that baseball because they've got it set up really nice.
The old Ranger Stadium.
Yeah. Globe Life Park, the old stadium.
Yeah.
And they've got it set up really nice. And
did you go to the game, or were you watching it on TV? Did you go to the game, or were you watching it on the?
No, I was there. I was in the press box. They had us, spread out, of course. But,
right.
I saw several of my friends. So.
Just Brett, real quick. Your uncle got tested positive for COVID. I hope he recovers. I hope he's okay.
Yes,
and my
definitely.
thoughts and prayers are with you and your family at this time.
That's our mind.
So, but there were other games besides the 2 that we've discussed so far in the NFL today. Baltimore beat the Washington football team. It looks like Lamar Jackson's back after getting stuffed last week against Kansas City. He had a decent run. Seattle and Miami was one of the most interesting games of the year because that game was close the entire time. Miami hung in there almost all game, and Seattle ended up winning at the end. Minnesota went into Houston. The Houston Texans are 0-4. You got that highly talented quarterback in your backfield, and you can't win a freaking game.
Two Texas teams are combined 1-7.
Yes. I agree, Brett. Wilson is a front runner for MVP. I agree. But Deshaun Watson, I feel bad for the kid because he's got no help. And he's got a coach that wants to control everything, but he's bad at it.
Someone traded Deshaun.
Yes.
It's DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm sorry, DeAndre. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah.
Someone traded him.
Yes.
That was him.
That was the kid.
It was him, yes, but let that sink in. Just the fact that someone traded him.
For who?
David Johnson. Like Randall Cobb is your wideout now.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, how does this guy still have a job? How?
Because he's also the GM.
There's about 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, but ownership has
What's
got
worse, having your owner as a GM or your head coach as a GM?
Dude, it's just like David Johnson has been crap since he got hurt a couple of years back, man. He's never
He's had a couple of ACL injuries, hasn't he? Hasn't he had a couple of ACL injuries? Isn't he?
Well, it was that one that
season
he got wiped right out, man.
Yeah.
That ruined him, man. And it's just like, but it's like ownership has to sign off on these deals, right? Like they have to. You'd think. How does Bill O'Brien go into ownership and say, I got a great idea. Here, let's trade the best wide receiver in the league for a guy who gets hurt every now and again.
He did it. Bill O'Brien did it because he wasn't getting along with Hopkins. That's why he did it, because they were button heads.
Guess who's more important, the player or the coach? I think the player. But whatever, Bill Belichick. You think you're Bill Belichick? Whatever.
When did the Bills and
O'Brien was a former coach at Penn State, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Browns. What's that?
When do the Bills play the Patriots for the first time this year?
A couple weeks from now.
Okay.
I think it's 3 or 4 weeks. But this is going to screw the COVID stuff's going to screw everybody up because like we're going to have to take our bye week this week because Tennessee just is a walking petri dish right now. So I mean, that just screws everything up. So I mean that's cool, especially if Josh got hurt today. I mean he went down at the end of the first half there with that shoulder thing. He got like helmet to helmet there too. Of course, you step on Brady's toe and it's a 15-yard penalty. Take Josh Allen's head off. Fair play, good play. So hey, maybe it works out.
Played the rest of the game. He didn't stay out of the game. He played the rest.
No, he just went. It was a stinger. That was probably what it was. But I mean, it's just like give him a couple weeks rest. Work. Leslie Frazier needs to work on that defense, man, because they came up big second half, which is good. Josh Norman. I thought he did a bonehead play throwing a guy out of bounds, but they didn't flag him for that. So I don't know.
Yeah, Kate, I like Jen's analogy. She has no idea who these guys are since I don't follow, but I assume it's like trading your Porsche in for a dump truck.
Yeah, it's like a Porsche for a Pinto.
I said Porsche for a band.
It's.
Josh Allen will be fine. He will just grab face mask, slam you, and go gain 5 more yards.
Dude, I don't even think he had one rushing yard this game.
I don't know.
I don't think he did. He was all in the air, man, and handing it off to Devin. Devin had a good game. But yeah, it's whatever. Sorry, we're talking again about the other. Well, no, because you guys talked
Josh Allen did have 3 carries today.
Did he?
For negative 1 yards.
Yeah, he did. I didn't think he did. It was I didn't think he did. He wasn't like and it's weird because like apparently the rush defense. First of all, I gotta give the Raiders credit, man. Like their O-line was pretty good. O-line was pretty good. Like kept the Bills front four like from getting to Derek Carr at all. And Derek Carr doesn't throw interceptions. So the fact that we got to him and like got a fumble, which was cool. But dude, like, wow, our defense is just suspect sometimes, man. But wow, we were like
3 fumbles by the Raiders today. They lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, our D was decent in the second half. The first half though, we were getting eaten alive. Like we were trading. The only good thing is we were trading touchdowns for field goals. Like Vegas would walk it all the way down the field. They just have to settle for field goals. But whatever. I mean, overall, whatever. It's a win. But yeah. So yeah.
Getting back to the games.
Oh yes, Brett. Sorry, he did. But that was a quarterback sneak, man. That wasn't a rush. That was like a dive.
Nosey's here. Look out.
Oh, good. Oh yeah. Well, dude, I feel for him, man, because
The Lions.
Detroit was up, dude. Detroit was up big on New Orleans.
Yes, they were.
I jinxed it, and I sent him a message, and I'm like, "Oh man, look, Detroit looks good, man." And as soon as I say that,
Well, unfortunately I had both
Here comes the
Reed
same.
and Stafford on my fantasy team today, and they had decent days, but still, I mean, I'm just going to lose because of Dak Prescott. It's all it is. It's Dak. That's Odell having a 38-point day. So yeah.
yeah, I again, I feel for Lions fans, man. I really, really, really feel for Lions fans.
Yeah, with Nosey coming in, I was just going to get to that New Orleans-Detroit game. Detroit did have a lead for the longest time. I mean, they were leading 14-7 in the first quarter.
14-0.
14-0.
14-0.
They were leading 14-0. And then
They scored
Drew Brees happened.
28 or 31 unanswered.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they scored 28. New Orleans scored 28, maybe more unanswered points. And it was
How
just
about them Bears? Yeah. Chicago.
Bears.
Chicago lost to Indy, right? Indy won.
let me see. Hang on. Yes, they did.
Like
19-11. 19-11. How's that for a score?
You know the happiest guy
Be
in the
the
world
first
is right now?
19-11 final ever had in the NFL.
19-11.
Dude, the happiest guy in the world is Phillip Rivers. He's just like, I am out of that poop show Charger franchise.
But now the Chargers have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Herbert's the real deal. He's 3-0 as a starter. So yeah, it's going to be they're or 2-1 I think as a starter. I'm not sure. Indy. Nick Foles against that defense was Nick Foles against that Indianapolis defense was 26-42, 249, a touchdown, and an interception. But that Indy defense is no joke. It's the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. They are coming to Cleveland next weekend, so we will see exactly what Cleveland is next week. It should be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to watch that game next week. So, but
is that a noon start or kickoff? I mean,
I think
1 o'clock your time.
I think it's a 1 o'clock game next week. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1 o'clock game. Yeah. Let me see real quick. I'll just check real quick. Oh, actually, it's a 4:25 start on CBS. It's a late game.
Oh, so it's gonna be the national game.
It's going to be their primetime game next week. They got the Giants and the Cowboys at 4:25 on Fox.
God.
Actually, no. Giants Cowboys are on CBS, so that might be their. I don't know why they would take that game over the Browns game as far as their primetime game because the Giants are terrible. They're 0-4, and the Cowboys are 1-3. But it's the Giants and the Cowboys, so that might just take care of everything. That's probably why they do it. But yeah, the Colts and Browns are 4:25. So that might be the prime game for CBS next week because they've got 2-3 games at 4:25, and Fox only has 1, and that's Dolphins and Niners. So I'm hoping that the Colts and the Browns would be elevated to that prime time, that number 1 game. Week. So who knows?
Well, should be there.
The Buccaneers are going to be on Thursday. The Buccaneers and Bears play Thursday night. That's going to be a good game too. So we'll see. Anyway, getting back to this week. Jacksonville, Cincinnati. Joe Burrow gets his first win as a Bengal. It was a close game, 33-5. Carolina beat Arizona, which was kind of a shocker because Carolina played a complete game today as well. In fact, Teddy Bridgewater had a breakout game today too, from what I understand. He had rushing in.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Teddy Bridgewater was 26 of 37 for 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but he also ran for 32 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, he was the old Teddy Bridgewater. So, yeah. I did see the run, yes. Did you see the run, Ken, that Matt's talking about? That Teddy had? He looked like Kyler Murray in that run when he scored.
Wow.
He was juking left and right, juking everybody on the way in, yes. So, yeah, I mean, Carolina pretty much dominated that entire game. It wasn't that as close as the final score showed. Katie, your comment about Cleveland fans, just hush. That's all I got to say. The Colts defense is amazing. Is Philip Rivers getting back to his old self? Brett, as long as he throws sidearm and he's in his late 30s, no.
I saw there's this play where it was it was like a pass rush or something, and he tried to like scramble to the right a little bit.
He can't run either.
It was like watching a turtle run. Like it was like
no.
So, but he's like trying to run, but he looks like he's running in sand. Like it was so.
Philip Rivers has become Bernie Kosar. If you ever see film of Bernie Kosar, go back and look at him. The boy couldn't run. He couldn't even throw a sidearm.
Dude, it was painful.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh man, this guy is just bad. But
Bernie Kosar 2.0.
Yes, he was. Because I mean, and what's crazy is every time I see Philip Rivers throw, it looks like he's using every ounce of energy in his body to throw it, and it's only going 10 yards. I mean, it's ugly. It's just ugly.
Well, he had Antonio Gates his whole career. He didn't have to throw it more than 5.
Well, he had LT for a lot of his career too, but it didn't help.
LT too, just like took it in the backfield. And take it and go. Yeah.
I don't anticipate Philip Rivers playing much more than another year or two.
No, dude, he's got 30.
He only signed a 1-year contract with the Colts, unlike Brady, who signed 2 years. But
yeah, I think.
Oh, Brady looked good, man. Love me some Tom Brady now.
Well,
amazing.
Well, he didn't have. He only had Mike Evans today. When Mike Evans got hurt in the first half with an ankle, but he came back in and played the rest of the game. Humphreys is the one that was out most. Was it Humphreys? Is it Humphreys? Not Humphreys. No. God, why can't God dang it. Who's the number 2 guy?
By the way, John, was there any word on Joel Beasley's injury? I know he came back in, but
yeah, he came back in, but
did he
see that catch he did? Jeez, man. Dude.
Yeah, I saw that catch. It was late in the game.
That was first half.
First half.
Yeah, he went up and flipped at a pirouette in the middle of the air, but still came down with it. Yeah, man. Dude, there's like the receiver, like John Brown got stiffed on that touchdown too, man. That was
Yeah, it should have been a touchdown. It would have helped my fantasy team if he would have got it. But
yeah, man, I know. Trust me, that's who I started instead of Cole Beasley was John Brown. So yeah, it's the NFL and their awesome refs.
Chris Godwin is the one I was thinking of. He was out without Godwin today because Godwin.
Are you sure you're a Bucks fan, man?
No, you know what?
Not really.
I haven't really followed him very much. I really haven't.
Just say Cleveland is my only team. Say it with me. Come on.
Cleveland Browns are my only team. I really don't care.
So don't even worry about the Bucks. Just that's like.
It's I have not cared about the Bucks since about 2006, when John Gruden just ruined the whole franchise, and the ownership it was just sad. After the old man died, the ownership just went to shit because they care more about Man U than they care about the Bucks. So I
would care about Man U too.
Yeah, I mean, they know they're the most expensive franchise in the world. I know that, but no, I'm just
trying to kill our.
I'm not high on the Bucks. Oh, shut up, Katie. I've been a Browns fan for 50 years. Don't call me a bandwagoner. I'm just not that into the Bucks because I mean I was excited for the Bucks in 2002, but the years that followed really soured me on this team. I could care less. I really could care less. They win or lose. I really don't. Even with Brady on the team, I could care less.
You gotta ride or die with your team, man.
I know, but
Cleveland is your team, man. Cleveland is your team.
Oh, shut up, Katie. She called me Brown Buck. It's my old name, but back in the MSN chat.
Yeah, Brown Buck.
Yes. That was 20 years ago. Thank you very much.
Well,
she is just, you know what? Katie's my little sister, and she just loves to needle me to death. I love her for it. I say little sister, she's only like 12 years younger than I am, but it's okay.
Guys, can I tell you something that's just absolutely amazing?
Yes, go ahead.
Certainly.
The Buffalo Bills are undefeated, and they're going to the Super Bowl. You got to find that video on YouTube.
Yes. You know what? I don't care though, Katie, because you know why? That's why, right there.
That's like just jacking my style, man. Like you got to come up with your own. You put 2020 in there, like that's 2020. 2020. Like that year will have an asterisk on the side of it.
No, it will not. No. We talked about it. You missed it. Ken and I already talked about it. There's nothing asterisk-y about this cup because of what these guys had to go through in the bubble. And that's not just the Bolts, but that's every team in the bubble.
Dude,
okay?
Can you honestly look in the camera and say that home and away games don't matter in the end score of an NHL game?
No.
There's an asterisk. Yes, they're champs. No one can take that from them. But the fact that you did not have a fan, a home crowd.
He still had to play the games, John.
I know, but
he still had to play the games.
Listen, I'm not like, Al Bundy here talking about my days in high school state champion here.
Right.
Okay, listen, I played quite a bit of sports in my younger days. Just if you had 50 people in the stands, it pumped you up.
Yeah.
You would go to a practice and it would be like, because there's no one in the stands.
Right, but you know what? Everybody was on the same level. It was all they all had. Nobody was given favoritism.
I'm not saying
nobody was given special treatment. It was an even match across the board for all the teams.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's a big difference from.
So what you're saying is, if there were fans in the stands, the Lightning would not have won.
I'm not saying they might not have. They were a superior team, and they were great. They're fantastic. They're wonderful. They're
Did you see what Nosey said? Waterboy was a sport.
Dude, this guy. Listen.
I had to bring it up, John. I'm sorry. I didn't want the comment to go unnoticed.
No, it's good. That's fine.
Oh, Nosy, what a singer! I love it.
I'm not even gonna address that. I'm not even gonna Remember all those times that I said I feel for the Lions fans and stuff?
Yes, not anymore.
All back.
All gone. Yes.
All back. You know what? Detroit, have fun with your 0-16 franchise. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when Eric Hipple was the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, Kenny. Remember that? Remember Eric Hipple?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember Eric Hipple.
Another one of the illustrious quarterbacks in the history of the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's okay. Detroit. Okay. Lions fans. Yeah.
Don't poke the bear, Nosy.
No, it's fine. I can take punches, man. I'm okay. I'm all right with that. I beat up a lot more times than I beat anybody up in my life.
Yeah, right. Me too.
It's fine. I can take my lumps. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm just sitting here looking at this logo and going, 4-0, top of the division.
Right.
Probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yes.
That stings, doesn't it, Matt Stafford? Yeah. Okay.
Matt Stafford's elite. You just can't win because his franchise sucks.
Right. I mean, it's not like they didn't have Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders. Arguably the greatest running back in the history. Pissed his career up. Yep. Calvin Johnson retired in his prime.
Because he was injured, because of all the injuries. And Barry retired because he was tired of the lame-ass ownership not doing anything to better the team. So,
Hey, Matt, it was 4 times we went to the Super Bowl. Thank you very much. And it was only twice against the Cowboys. Okay? Thank you. Skins and the Giants were the other 2, if you really care. But that's okay. You want to know something, Matt? Let me just explain this to you. There's no other team in NFL history that's been to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row.
Right. And also been credited with playing in what's probably regarded as the best Super Bowl in the history of the game. That Bills-Giants Super Bowl matches up against any Super Bowl.
And probably the most heartbreaking, but
yes,
you know.
It was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, you can remember them losing.
And you know what? You know what else you can say, Nosy? At least the Bills have made it to a Super Bowl.
I was about to say, how many times have the Lions been to the Super Bowl? Just for the people in the back.
Yeah, and this is coming from a Browns fan who also has never been to the Super Bowl, but that's okay.
Thank you, Ken.
Yes. Katie.
Yeah, it's okay. No. You just it's again.
Did you cry?
I respect the Cleveland
because it's a Rust Belt, John. You get a double Rust Belt teams.
I respect the Rust Belt, man.
Yeah.
I am one with the Rust Belt.
Yes.
But then you get these yappy Michigan guys, man. Yappy Michigan guys. It's kind of like their college
Brett
football.
Came up with that triangle between Cleveland, Detroit, and who was the other one?
Yeah, it was Brett put a triangle up for Detroit, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, which is wrong. It's that no.
Cincinnati doesn't count.
No.
2 Super Bowls. And won one yet, but there's been 2.
Cincinnati doesn't count. Oh, is Matt also? Let me ask you this, John. Is he also a Michigan Wolverine fan?
Yeah, apparently he is. Even though he lives like right beside State, he's a Wolverines fan.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, I don't have my cup here. How many times in a row has Jim Harbaugh lost to the
Don't
Buckeyes?
go there.
John, huh?
Don't
I'm sorry,
there.
Kenny. I'm sorry. I like poking the Michigan bear too every once in a while. Has Jim Harbaugh ever beat the Buckeyes? No. Ken's gonna leave on me.
Why is he a Michigan
I'm about to leave.
Ken's a Michigan fan too.
Oh, he's a Wolverines fan? Oh, okay.
Yes.
You'll always have the Fab Five, Ken.
Yeah,
Chris Webber going.
Yeah. I saw a guy in the grocery store the other day wearing a Chris Webber jersey. I started to go signal timeout to him, but I refrained.
Nosy says he's never watching us again.
No, did you see what he said before that, though? Like,
no. You live next to Ann Arbor.
Live next to Ann Arbor? Dude, I'm
Michigan?
from Michigan, and I know that you're so way off.
Yes.
Dude, you live up by Bay City. That's like up north, man. What are you talking about, Ann Arbor? Whatever. I'm not even from there, and I know the geography more than you do. It's like, what's the capital of Canada, Nosy? Saskatchewan? Like, I mean, you know.
This has been a great show. Kenny, I'm so sorry, man. I love you like a brother. I really do. I hate to beat up on you like that. I'm so sorry.
Anyways, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta go see my kids. They're going to bed.
and I gotta cut the show before I lose my friendship with Kenny. I'm still friends with Ken.
Yeah, Ken's getting mad. Nosy's getting mad.
I'm not going anywhere.
Ken's got thick skin. He can take it. He's been getting beat up like that his whole life, so it's all good. And we did it to him back in the day in the MSN chat too, so it's all good. He's used to it. All right, there we go, the sports nerds. We're going to call it a night. Elliot couldn't make it. I hope he feels better. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Hopefully, once again, celebrating a Cleveland Browns victory and a Buffalo Bills victory. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. It was a great show.
The Dallas Cowboys victory, hopefully.
Who are they playing, Ken?
Giants.
They should be winning that game. They're supposed to win that game, so let's hope.
We were supposed to win this one, too, remember?
Okay, USA.
All right, on behalf of my co-hosts, Ken Koslow and John Olson, I am the Sports Nerds, and we are out. See ya.